Good afternoon. You're listening to Cannabis Corner on WNHHLP 103.5 FM, broadcasting live from downtown New Haven. We are streaming live on TuneIn Radio and NewHavenIndependent.org. We're also streaming live video on Facebook and YouTube. Just go to your Facebook page and look us up, or hit see first to see and hear all the great programs that we have here on WNHHLP. And just a note, Cannabis Corner is also streaming live on the Greenhaven Media Facebook page and ProCannabisMedia.com. Welcome, everybody. It is Monday, April 13th, 2026. I'm your host, Joe LaChance. Welcome to Cannabis Corner, and I am joined here, of course, by the one and only Uncle Lou. Farmer Lou, how are you today?
How's it going, sir? How is it going?
It is going well, Lou. It is another day, gearing up for the big holiday coming up soon. This weekend, got a lot of events coming up, a lot of things happening because, 420 is coming up next Monday.
That's right. We have
And
a 420 show this year. We're
we're
excited about
doing
that.
a big sesh. We have our show actually on 420, so we've invited the community to come and smoke with us, just like we did before. It was always a good time. So look for the invites in your text messages or your DMs or your inboxes if you want to come in and smoke on 420. It should be a good way to get the community together, and it'd be a fun time. So,
It's always a fun time when we do the group shows, brother.
yes, yes. Yes, they are. I wish we could do them every week, but that would be kind of crazy.
Yeah,
Hard.
we'd have to have a 3-hour show.
Yeah, yeah, and a staff to coordinate all the guests and stuff. But yeah, so it's good. We got let's see what we got coming up. We got this weekend, of course, is Burn and Learns 420 Community Festival right there in Shelton, down at the Holy Ghost Park. That's going on from 11 to 7 down there. There's great bands. As a matter of fact, one of the bands that's going to be playing there is coming on today. Dylan Cater from the Creamery Station will be on the air today. And they also have Hannah's Field and the Mystic Dead. So it's a real nice lineup of music. And those festivals, of course, especially the 421, is always a good time. And of course,
Positivity all around, right, brother?
that's right. And of course, Cannabis Corner will be down there. I'll be down there hosting and introducing the bands and, talking to the crowd. It'll be a lot of fun to come by and visit me at my table. You hang out, you smoke, we'll have a great time. So that's on the 18th. And Gabe is also, if you want to stop and see him before you go down there, is doing a smoke out down at Metatron Homegrown, and he has a bunch of like pipe vendors and things like that going to be down there. I know Steve from the One Hit Wonder will be there, Bearded Wood, people who sell accoutrements for cannabis. So Gabe is doing that. That's from like 12 to 3. I invited him on the show today. Hopefully he comes on, because he's got a lot of good things going on. I want to talk to him. And a big shout out, of course, to our sponsor, Metatron Homegrown. They have 2 locations in Meriden at 626 East Main Street and in Orange at 185 Boston Post Road. He's open 6 days a week over there. He does a lot of classes. I was over there on Saturday, actually. He had the Bacon Boys from Brooklyn down there, the guy who makes great, delicious cakes and drinks and things like that. And he was doing clones. He's starting the clone process now. And so he was mass producing clones up there on Saturday. So we're getting ready for the grow season. So if you need anything, go see Gabe down there at Metatron Homegrown. In Meriden or Orange. He's got everything you're gonna need. So yeah, he's got something going on. And then Kebra has a paint and puff
Okay.
on Sunday. So that's going on. And also I saw a paint and puff from Luna Wolf is going on Sunday as well, and that is in Bridgeport at the Ursa Gallery.
Yeah.
So, so there we got two paint and puffs, depending on what part of the state you're in. You can go to either one over at Kibros. But it's a good time of year. I guess you could say this time of year kind of kicks off the the grow season. You know.
Well, Joe, on top of that, it's also kicks off the grow season. Retail starts to pull into that outside season. People are congregating around it. Ganja Bot is also being released. So, like Brantford has an event.
Oh, that's right. Duncan was telling me about that. Tell me about Ganjabot now.
Well, last year we had the dispensary open.
Right.
So they used to be in New Haven. They still have a New Haven location, but they also have the big Brantford location now. So they
Okay.
release specialty drinks throughout the year,
Right.
and Ganja Bot is one of their cannabis terpene themed drinks.
Is it a
At
drink
New
or a
England Brewery.
beer?
It's a beer.
Okay, so it's a okay. It has alcohol and terpenes. Now, does that mean it has THC or just the flavor?
No THC, obviously, because it's a legal thing. We don't want to
Mix, right?
mess
We can't
somebody up
mix them.
thinking that.
But it has the flavor of cannabis because it has terpenes infused.
Because remember, hops and cannabis are sister cousin plants.
Yes, they come from the same family, and hops has terpenes in it.
Right.
But what they're doing is adding extra cannabis terpenes.
And that's it's a play on something. It's not that it's
Well,
a true and identical product. It's a play on it through a corporate company, local company. You know what I mean?
Well, I mean, that's what's good about the craft beer. You can experiment with flavors, and there's nothing wrong. Terpene is nothing more than a flavor. So if you can have a chocolate flavored beer or a coffee flavored beer, why not a limonene flavored beer? Why not a pinene flavored beer? It's just extracted flavors and tastes.
Yep.
It's no different. And you and I have seen all kinds of weird ass craft beers out there. They're mixing anything in with the coffee, like I said, and then they got
Coffee, chocolate, blueberry,
vanilla,
cherry, red.
blueberry, apple, right? All kinds.
So then we'll see that all throughout the. We've been seeing it. People like to play on the cannabis side of it when it's fun for retail and things.
Yeah, and that's the thing. I know Wolfie. We were talking about them in their event earlier. Has is working with them. Am I correct?
They'll be at their event. Yeah.
Yeah, because he works with the terpenes and the brewing as well, right?
Yeah, but I don't think it's connected. I think they're just a vendor at their pop up.
Right, right. But there you go. So it's something. It's a new area that people are trying to explore. And hey, we'll see how it goes. What it is a great way to get, again, destigmatize cannabis, right? Because now people are going to learn about terpenes and the flavorings. So, Ganjabot is a mixture of different terpenes, or is it a specific terp that
I'm
they
not the
add?
expert, Joe.
Okay. But anyway,
Just giving some local promo to some other local companies, basically.
that's
You know
right. So
what I
that's
mean?
up in Brantford. That is the what is the name of the brewery? New England Brewery, right?
New England Brewery.
Yeah, Duncan was telling me about that event, and he may even be vending there. So there you go. They're cannabis friendly. Um, okay, well that's good. I guess Gabe couldn't make it on the show today, but I did want to give him a shout out because I went up there on Saturday and I spoke to him. Remember we had Kimura on the show last week?
Yep.
And she was talking about starting her garden and everything, and she was looking for donations. So I spoke to Gabe, and he's going to donate a bunch of soil to Kimura's Cultural Corner, and so I hooked them up, and they're going to be doing that. So I want to give a big shout out and a thank to Gabe for doing
Oh, that's
that.
amazing.
Yep, yep. Again, if anybody else out there, a soil maker, whoever is listening, has some extra soil, something they want to donate, Kimura is doing a great community garden in a real tough community.
We'll
Real
have to
tough.
get them some starts over from Stone Garden.
Yep. Yes. Very good. Yeah. Yeah, yeah, we will. And that's a process. Like I said, they're going to be doing that. And again, we're soliciting. I want to help them out up there because she really does do good work.
And if
And
anybody wants to donate to them, contact Kimura directly.
yep, Kimura's Cultural Corner. So, so basically that is it. Um, yeah, so 420's coming. Um, I'm looking forward to it. You know, a lot of good things happening. I'm looking forward to our guest today.
I don't mind, man. I'm excited about this. This is the week. You know, everybody's out there doing something. All the dispensaries are doing something. The local trap spot is doing something. You know, it's kind
Oh
of all.
yeah. It's the one day everybody comes together in agreement that, you know, it is the one holiday, I guess, that you could say we have that is exclusive to the cannabis user. Let's put it that way. Although I have been seeing it becoming more mainstream and people use it now, you know, in their names and in their logos, and it's becoming a little bit more mainstream out there, the term 420. You know, whereas before when you said it, nobody really know what you're talking about. If you say it now, a lot of people who you wouldn't expect to know what it meant knows what it means, you know.
Everybody knows what it means now.
Yeah. And you know, there's a couple different stories of how that name came about, right? There's one, of course, that it is the code for the cop code for when they're busting someone for weed. So we have a 420 over here, like 187 or 420. You know, they have codes for every offense.
We loved those things when we were younger, and as the stigmas come up, share all those stories, brother.
Yeah, and then there was another one about some group of kids who used to gather at 420 every day under a tree and smoke weed, and then it spread from that. So I don't really know exactly where it came from.
It's one of those urban legends, brother. You know.
Yeah, you don't really know what the origin is, because there are a couple different stories about it. Like I said, the cop code was always what I thought it was, but then I heard the story about the other one. So who knows? Who knows? All I know is that spring is here. It's time for people to start getting together, gathering outdoors again, and congregating, come out of our little winter hibernations, get our gardens started, and really just start enjoying the good weather. You know, start enjoying the good weather, getting outside more, getting that sun, you know, all those kind of things.
Yeah, you know, even with it being a little chilly, this is that time. The sun's out enough that people are out. You know what I mean? So if you haven't started some starts or getting some starts going of anything, you know what I mean? I have a porch. If you have a porch, maybe put some plants under the window for right now while there's still some heat in there, where it's not freezing everything, but at the same time, things are starting to grow.
Yeah. I got some starters going this week.
Good, good.
So they're all ready and they're starting to root and things like that. So that's all going for this week. And I have noticed now also when you start to look outside the big places like Home Depot and things like that, they're starting to put out flowers and things like that for people to start planting. So it's exciting. It is. I'm looking to do a big garden this year. And, you know, it's amazing how my thoughts go to that so often now. Like, what am I going to grow this year? How much do I want to grow? You know, how many tomatoes? Things like that. And I'm glad because it's something that, like I said, is very fulfilling to me.
Well, it's great to even have that as part of a conversation. It's great to have it where you can have something to think about, you know? A lot of times we find ourselves lost and we don't have a purpose or we don't know what we can do. And if it becomes 10 minutes or 20 minutes or an hour, that we can geek out about, whatever.
Well,
But you know,
gardening can be very zen.
yes,
For
100.
those people who don't meditate, for those people who say they can't meditate or whatever, gardening can be like meditation. It is very zen because you are connecting with nature. You are focusing on one thing while you're doing that, especially trimming. My God. But a lot of people find gardening like their meditation, like their zen.
Yeah, yeah,
Um, and I never was that type of person, but as I get older and things like that, I start to appreciate that time being spent with nature. You know what I mean? And actually, as strange as it sounds, cultivating life. Does that
yeah.
make being part of a living thing from start to finish? Do you know what I mean? They almost become like children.
Well, you cared for it. You grew it. You did everything you can for it. You spent hours with it. Yeah, it's living.
Yeah, I mean, it even pained me at the end of the year, to start cutting it down and breaking it down. It was like, oh, and I did. I thanked everybody, thanked all the plants for everything that, all the bounty that they gave me this year. And yeah, it's even hard. I even hated doing it, but
Yeah.
that's part of the process. And of course, I took all the stuff and it's going to be composted and used up again this year in the garden. So, everything does definitely come full circle and have a purpose.
You're 100% right there.
But anyway, while we're waiting for our guests, I did want to mention Rich over at Bohemian High. He's got a great event coming up. He does it every year on April 25th. So it's the weekend after this weekend. It's called the Good Vibes Festival.
That's right.
And he's got 3 or 4 bands playing there. It's down in Milford, right off the post road, so right on the side of the street, Bridgeport Avenue, right over the Stratford Milford border. He's got a great spot down there. He's gonna have, bands. He's got vendors down there. I know Dab and Dad will be there. We'll be down there. I'm got a booth down there, so we're gonna be selling some different CBD products and things like that. So, and I just really want to support the guy. Rich was one of the first people that I ever met when I moved back to Connecticut from California back in 2011. And he had just opened his store right down the street from where I lived. And I went in there and we just became fast friends and eventually business partners. So, he does a lot for the community, especially down in Milford. And I just want to give him a shout out. And I would like to encourage people to stop down on April 25th to the Bohemian High Good Vibes Festival. Check out some good bands, check out some great vendors, and just hang out with some really good people.
That's a great segue into it because Rich and Gloria are absolutely an amazing couple. They retired from their life as professionals and a Marine,
Yep,
and then from there opened up a space in the second or third part of their lives. Ultimately, in this community, they offer super fair prices. They really do take care of their community that's in that space really, really awesomely. So it's been pretty cool. And then they do, I know they have an upcoming open mic night series that's going to be starting up soon. So,
yep,
they have a space to host events. If you want to host events, give Rich a text or a call or Facebook,
yep,
Instagram, or anything. He's always looking to
yep.
rent out some of that space there,
Consumption friendly. That space
So,
is consumption friendly yet. So definitely, you want to host an event. I've hosted many events. You've hosted many events down there. He's got a great space down there at the Grove. I got my heart and soul into that place. So yeah, if you want it, I think it would be awesome. I thought we had our guest on,
I think
but
we did. glitched, but that'll just pop back in and out. I know he'll probably get back in there.
Yeah, I was ready to introduce him.
Well, we can always just start the introduction. I know he's probably just trying to pop in.
Yeah, I
We'll
just
save some
texted
time,
him.
get him introduced, and we'll go from there because I know I'm excited to have him talk about the show and what's about to come up. So let's give an introduction at least for who we got.
Yes. All right. So today we got coming on the show. It is Mr. Dylan Cater of Creamery Station. And hold on, I just got to get his bio up. But Dylan is a good friend of mine, and I've known him for a really, really long time. I just need to get the bio up here. I'm sorry about that.
Can
Is
you
he
hear me,
on?
Joe?
There you are. Just about
Tried
to
to go on my
introduce.
tried to go on the computer. I had a little issue, so we're here on the phone.
Oh, okay. Well, as long as you are here, I'm going to give you the intro
That's what
that
matters, right?
you. Yes, exactly. Hold on. I just got to pull it up. All right. So, Creamery Station. In a little more than 4 years and hundreds of shows under the belt, the band has evolved into a powerhouse on the scene with a unique sound people can't seem to get enough of. Within this relatively short time, the band has.
That is us. That's a bit of an outdated bio, I think, but it's that's definitely us right there. We've
Yes,
been going
that's.
for 12 years now, it turns out.
All right, so let's start the interview, Dylan. That was my first question I was going to ask you. You're a very young guy. I met you a long, long time ago. You guys have been going for 12 years with the same lineup, right? I think you're frozen, Dylan. There you are. There you are. Okay, yeah. So
Oh
you.
my god. Yeah, sorry about that. Little technical difficulties there.
All right. So you guys have been going for 12 years.
Yeah, time flies. It's been a while, but it's been a great journey, and I feel like we're really starting to get into our own here.
Yeah,
We were
most.
actually talking to somebody yesterday about it, and it's funny. They say when a band blows up overnight, it usually takes about 10 years, 12 years. So it's one of those things that everybody sees it when it's coming together, but that hard work, it takes many years coming together and culmination to really make it happen. And I feel like
You
we're
make a
really
good
starting to
point
groove as a
there.
band and making it happen.
You make a good point there. Most people don't realize how long most bands are in existence before they even have a hit record, before they even put a record out, and nobody sees that. And then what I've always found interesting is to see these documentaries and things like that on YouTube and all these things of how the bands really got started and how far back their roots go before you even heard of them, and I feel like that's something that holds true with you guys because you really are starting to hit your stride now. You got some new music coming out, but you've already put out a couple of albums, correct? And done a few tours over the last few years.
No, I apologize, Joe. I'm not sure what's happening on my end here.
I don't know. Maybe you got to stand still.
Yeah, I'm trying to get that connected there. Can you hear me now, though?
I can hear you. Yeah, your video seems to be jumping in and out, but that's all right. Um,
Sorry
so
about that.
you, well, it's all good. It's all good. So yeah, after 12 years, you've how many albums have you put out now?
We put out 3 full albums, and then last year we switched over to releasing singles. Just because, we have a bunch of stuff up there, and it's great to get a bunch of material up. But we've noticed nowadays, especially with social media and everything, everybody's looking for instant gratification, quick clicks, and trying to do things fast. So the whole paradigm has kind of shifted in the music industry there, that we want to get things continually in front of people that's new rather than putting out too much at once. And it's noticed that later on in albums now, they're not getting as many listens or plays because of that. So the idea is that we're switching over to getting more singles out there and really just trying to get music out there as often as we can so you can hear it, be excited about it. It's in front of you, it's new, it's happening, rather than putting out a 12-track album where it doesn't get as much attention on each song. Because we love these songs and we want everybody to hear all of them. So if anyone wants to listen back, we have 3 full albums online as well as some singles. And we're just going to keep pumping them out and just keep putting out new music.
Yeah, you make a good point there, Dylan. It's kind of almost like the industry is going backwards because back in the day, it was singles. It
Right.
was singles, or you released a couple singles and then you compiled them into an album. We're talking back in the days of the Beatles, and I know that's what
Right.
we were buying were singles. And now with this digital age, like you say, you got to take advantage of the immediacy of it. Where if you got new music, you need and you can get it out there in a timely way, unlike before, like where you had to press it on vinyl and then you had to get it out to the stores and then you had to get it out to the radio. Now you can just upload it, put a social media post out, and people will start listening to it. So it's a whole nother world now. And you guys seem to be grasping that. That's a great strategy to do that. And I think your fans appreciate it. And
Right.
look at that. Look who just joined us here. Jonathan.
How's it going?
Jonathan Trulson. Now, Dylan, you do vocals and you do mandolin and guitar for the band. Jonathan, how are you, my friend?
Checking my mic. Can you hear me?
Oh, look at that. You
look at
sound
that.
so
Yeah.
professional.
Got
Yeah.
real mic and everything.
Wow. Now,
Yeah,
Jonathan,
John
you
he
are
plays the keyboard and he sings. He's also our Garth of the band. He's our music director, and he puts all of our stuff together. Helps us compose a lot of the different chord changes, all of our harmonies. He writes all of them, and we're very grateful for this guy right here.
Yeah, man. He's awesome.
It's all smoke and mirrors.
Smoke for sure. No more mirrors, though, Jonathan.
And by the way, you don't have to be formal. Jonathan is not necessary.
All right, John.
will do.
All right,
Johnny
John.
boy.
I've seen you many times banging behind that keyboard. Now, how long have you been? But I'm assuming, now this is just me, that you were in the industry before you joined Creamery. So how long have you been playing?
I've been performing for audiences since I was 13 years of age.
I think
Like 20 years.
And you can do the math. I was born in 1956.
Okay, all right. So you're right up there with me. I'm a child of the 50s too, late 59. So we were just talking about how you guys are using a strategy of releasing singles and how that's how it used to be. That's what you did back then.
Except now you don't need a 45 RPM plastic adapter.
That's right. That's right.
Just need a cell phone. If you're lucky, a Bluetooth speaker there. Yeah, it's funny, we talk about how it's changing, and depending on what social media platform or what streaming platform, they consider it a play when you get somebody listening for 3 to 7 seconds, depending on which platform. And that just shows how fast people's attention span moves right now.
Yeah, right.
And we earn what, close to 1/10 of a penny?
Yeah,
Oh, you get that much? That's not bad. There.
That's the other thing. You don't necessarily make the same money on streaming that you would actually selling a physical album or single. But the exposure helps. And again, they say these days that all the money's in the touring game anyway. But speaking of that, you are embarking on a major tour this summer. But it's you, Dylan, are starting.
So we're heading out to Colorado next.
Yeah, I got your schedule up here. Hold on, let me just.
And we're pretty excited about that. We have 6 shows in 10 days out there. We're just going to keep hammering them away. A bunch of great venues and great people out there we're playing with. And we're super excited about it. We always have a great time in Colorado.
Yeah, no, it looks like you're starting on the 30th. And you're going to be out in Colorado all the way until, let's see, till the 9th of May. Then you're coming back on this area, playing some dates in New York, Massachusetts. You're doing Strange Creek.
Oh,
so, I mean, you got a busy summer coming up. It looks like you are booked almost every weekend this summer. Kicking off. I guess for you, Dylan, you're going to be at the Burn and Learn this Saturday, with
Yep.
the Dylan Cater Band, correct?
Yeah,
And
we're
then
doing some acoustic jams there, and the next day as well. I love the Burn and Learn events. So next Saturday we have, or I guess it's this Saturday, huh? It comes up real quick.
yes,
This
it does.
Saturday, 18th, we have Mystic Dead playing over there, and then Hannah's Field, and then we're gonna end it with some acoustic music, just jam it a few of us, and it's gonna be a great time. I absolutely love Jen and the whole crew over there putting on those events, and the whole band will be back for the Harvest event in October. But we
Can't
didn't want to
wait.
miss out on the fun, so we're just doing a few of us are doing some acoustic music this Saturday there, and it's gonna be a great time.
And
And
you'll.
then we're heading on up to Obie's farm, Black Rabbit's farm up in Mass.
Oh, that's
Mass.
Sunday, right?
Yeah, a little pre-420 camp out, and it's going to be an amazing time. Some jams around the fire, and really we're excited to kick off 420 proper with a nice Saturday Burn Learn, Sunday Black Rabbit Farm, and then we'll just ride right into a nice high Monday.
Monday, yeah, I'm going to invite you on the show. We're doing a big 420 smoke out, so if you want to come on, just pop on.
I could get into that, I think.
Okay, cool. I'll send you the link. So, Jonathan, you guys have been in the studio recently, correct?
That is correct.
And you have a new single out, and I'm hoping we have the privilege of debuting it here on the air
I
today.
think we sent you a bootleg copy of it.
Yes, I have it right here. Now, this one is
Technically not released yet. So yeah, we got the bootleg coming to you, Joe. We thought it was proper for a show like this, give the people a little underground release, first peek at our new one coming out.
And I appreciate that. Now, this one is called Sirens. So this will be the new single, but this is the raw, rough version of it.
Right.
So it's called Sirens.
Bootleg release. We love it.
We love it.
I thought it was proper for this, But yeah, it's a cover of a String Cheese Incident song. And we've been asked to play this one for years because we have Don DeStefano on the harmonica. And it's one of the songs that features a harmonica. And it's like a dirty, trippy harmonica on the original. And everybody kept saying, you got to get Don to play this one. And we finally put it together, and we're really excited for everybody to hear it. And we just debuted it a few weeks ago live. And we're really pumped to bring it out. We thought it was proper to do this one right before our Colorado run, seeing as String the Colorado band.
Nice. All right. So here it is, the debut of Sirens by Creamery Station. Can everybody hear?
Oh, yeah.
All right, good. Make sure that volume is up. Oh, yeah. Oh.
That sounded
There's a hit.
right there.
Yeah, you're talking some harmonica. Some vibing. Need a hit of weed.
Sirens are calling for someone, they're on their way. Which house is it gonna be?
That's you, Dylan?
Wailing and crying comes closer still. And it's on our streets today.
Roll of the dice, fate comes a knocking. It takes one more away. For all of the careful planning,
My lovely wife, Hope.
I never thought it could end this way.
I just wanna say I love you.
Nice.
Make sure you feel it every day. 'Cause if today had been my last chance, it's just something I wanted to say. Today is not my time.
I love that tempo change, man.
Make sure you feel it every day. 'Cause if today had been my last chance, it's just something I wanted to say.
Wow, man.
I just wanna say I love you. Make sure you feel it every day. 'Cause if today had been my last chance, it's just something I wanted to say. I just wanna say I love you. Make sure you feel it every day. 'Cause if today had been my last chance, it's just something I wanted to say.
Wow. Nice. Really, really nice. I love the way it changes tempo. So it's like it's got that really down and dirty bluesy harmonica and guitar, and then it pops in with that bouncy nice chorus. It's really 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 cool. So that is something we could look forward to hearing live on this tour you're doing, and that's brand new. Very cool, Dylan. When will they be able to download that or get it on Spotify? I know that was the rough version. You're mastering now.
Right. Yeah, we have it for an April 27th release. We didn't put that online yet, so you guys got it even before we even posted about it online. We just wanted to give you guys that special something on the Joe show today. You guys are so
Appreciate
good over
that.
here, man. Joe and Lou and everybody, really appreciate you guys keeping the
Well,
love
we
alive in the
appreciate
weed scene.
you. You do the same thing. And I wanted to talk about the band itself because I mean you listen to that song right there, that track, and you could tell there are a lot of members. It's a very rich sound. And a lot of people go into that besides just you and John. Tell us a little bit about the other members of the band. I know it's kind of a family affair for you in a
Right.
lot of ways. Tell who else is in the band and who does what.
Well, let me just, I suppose, run through the list here. So it started off with me and my dad. We were just jamming at our house with one of our buddies on the drums. And we were having a little party, and everybody was hanging out in the basement. And we were upstairs jamming. And we're in the middle of like a deep jam. And we look up, and everybody came upstairs. And they all started dancing to us playing. And we're just up there with a bunch of buddies. And we were all looking at each other like, dang, this is some fun right here. So later that summer, we throw festivals called Cater's Farm, and we're like, yo, we got to do a little opening set to kick this off. And we had so many great bands and great people at all the events, and we were just happy to be able to play like a 45-minute set. We threw some friends together. We got Don DeStefano on the harmonica, who was in the Bernadettes with my father at the time.
Oh, the
And,
Bernadettes, okay.
So that was the first collection there, I suppose, for Creamery. And my father and I, we had Don come sit in and some other friends play. And we just had such a good time. And we really loved it. And then one of our buddies was having a party, Jimmy Quish. And unfortunately, Don couldn't make it. He was already booked. Obviously, he's such a good harmonica player. He was playing with everybody at the time. And so we had John Trulson, who was in a couple of my dad.
This guy right here.
So we wanted another heavy hitter for the party. So we got John Trulson to come play with us. And it was me, John, Don DeStefano on harmonica, and Harry Cooper on the drums.
Okay.
And we went there and we rocked out and we had a great time. And kind of just had people sitting in left and right for a while as we kind of became a band. It took a few years of kind of just playing around and everything. But another friend of ours we were playing with introduced us to Mike Ryan on the percussion. He goes, I know this killer percussion player. And we got Mike in there. He sat in and we said, all right, well, you can't leave now. Hold on. You're now also part of the band. And we slowly threw everybody in the van. And we needed a bass player to come play with us at one point. And Mike actually mentioned our new bass player, Alex Wu. So we brought Alex in. Next thing you know, we loved him. And we said, you can't leave either. And we threw him in the back of the van. And little by little, we kind of collected everybody.
The hostage.
Yeah, exactly. And Harry had a bunch of family stuff come up. He just got married, and trying to deal with bills and everything and travel with a band is kind of difficult, you know? So we let him take off, and we had Mike switch over from percussion to drums. And he's one of the best drummers I've ever played with in my life. Just phenomenal player.
Yeah, I've known Mike a long time.
I know you have. And so we had Harry used to do a lot of the high harmony parts and stuff. And my lovely wife, Hope.
That's right.
We got her to hop in and do the high harmonies and playing some flute with us. She would always sit in and everything. But we decided to make her official member of the band there. And we had her singing harmonies and playing flute with us. And we slowly got her singing some lead. And now we got her on lead vocals.
She was on that track, right? She was
that was
the harmony.
Us going back and forth on the lead. And we have a bunch of more stuff with her coming out soon. We're really excited. And really just a snowball of people knowing people that we became family with, you know? And it all came together. I feel like every band has a story like that, how you got to your lineup. And really, I wouldn't trade it for anything. I'm happy about the whole story as well as where we are now and where we're going. Because I think we're sounding better than we ever have. And I'm kind of blown away by the stuff we're doing. I'm just really proud to be a part of this project.
Like you said, it took time to build that up. 12 years. You went from 4 people. Now you got like 7, right? 7 people in the band. 7 people in the band. You've added a female vocalist, which of course had added depth to it. And you've kept, that's what I like about you. It's a family. It really is like a family. And you guys have always been known, in the, I guess what would you call it? The jam band community, you'd call it. The festival community, and you worked your way up through that. And, a lot of people don't know you've played a lot of the major festivals. You do Strange Creek, but you've done a lot of the other ones. Traveled around the country, making your name. And now here it's coming to fruition. And that's what it's all about. And this is the perfect time, I think, for that type of music, the type of music that you play, the good vibe, love vibe, Grateful Dead type, because one thing I always admired about that is, besides it being good, feel good music, there was a community that surrounded it. That was more than just fans coming to see one show. You have a following. People will follow you to different venues to come see you because not only they know they're coming for a good time, good vibes, good music, because of the other people that are there, because of the other people that are listened to, because of the community you have built around Creamery Station and the other bands of that ilk, because of the festivals you've played. And that's what I always admired about that, the whole festival community thing, is that it is a real community. It's not a commercialized thing, sponsored by Pepsi, where you go pay whatever and you see the band once and that's it. And I think right now, especially these days, we need more of that. You know what I
Right.
mean? We need more of that type of music out there.
Right. And, I absolutely agree. And, there's a ton of great music out there. And I think the jam scene has something special going. Like you said, people travel as a family for it. We all become a family on the road and at these shows together. And as you mentioned before, touring is one of the big still holdouts on money making in the music industry. So you see a lot of the big money companies and corporations trying to get a piece of it, Very similar to the cannabis community and the music community. When you see money in something, money gets in to make more money. And it makes it even more important in both industries to keep it grassroots and to support each other. It just seems that the most genuine thing is actually getting in there and being a part of it with the people rather than trying to put something together to sell to the people. And we can apply that to either industry there. And I think it's the special thing that holds our industries together, that we have above the corporations, that we have the community, we have the family, we look out for each other, and we live this. This is the real stuff. Like, I love music. If I wasn't playing music for money, I'd be playing music for nothing. So if I wasn't making money on cannabis in certain ways, I would still be smoking cannabis. I would still be supporting cannabis. And it's the thing that we need people here that know it and love it and are a part of it to the bone to be able to run it in the right way. So I think that we all need to remember to support these people, the ones that are running things for the community and as a part of the community. So I think you really nailed it right on the head there. And I think that what the jam and the cannabis communities both have in common are the people that really devote themselves to it and believe in it and believe in the power of change that it can make. And I think that we all need to do our best to support everybody doing this. I mean, the other day we didn't have any shows this weekend, so I made sure I posted about all of my friends' bands playing. I try to post about some cannabis events. I try to make sure I'm supporting everybody however I can. And I think that it's really beautiful that we have so many people that are willing to do the work to make the community work. And that's the only way it happens.
Yeah, no, I agree with you. And it's very, cannabis and music have always gone together. John, way back since the 60s, cannabis and music have always gone together. And
Back then, though, there were only a few flavors. You had Acapulco Gold, you had Panama Red, and maybe Thai Stick.
Thai Stick was right on the tip of my tongue, and the dirty Mexican weed, of course.
Now I have like a 30 strain list that I send out.
And seeds and stems.
Lots of seeds and stems. Yep, yeah. But again, I'm sure you living through the 60s, as I did, are you starting to see the same kind of vibe happening these days, not only, amongst the people, but amongst the music scene? Are you seeing the similar vibe to the 60s now?
Yeah, I would, one thing I would say about our family is that they're all very relaxed, mellow, calm people.
Right.
No brawls, no.
It's the weed.
Yeah, that's one thing I want to point out. I've been to a lot of your shows. I've been to a lot of festivals. I never see brawls or fights there. Hardly ever. Maybe somebody passes out. but I barely ever see brawls or fights at any of our events.
Right. And it's a special thing.
It is really, really a special thing. But so we got about 5 minutes left. I wanted to just give out all your socials, how people can reach you, some dates, whatever you want to talk about for the next 5 minutes about the band, how people can get in touch with you, and things like that.
Absolutely. Yeah, we have our Facebook, Instagram, TikTok. Try and stay on all the socials, as well as creamerystation.com. And you can always reach me at creamerystation@gmail.com. So if you have a good music weed event, we could be the band for you, But yeah, no, feel free to look us up. We're going to keep putting new live music online, and we'll always post about our shows. We're really getting out there. This summer, like you said, we're playing, I think, every single weekend. We have a show coming up, doing a bunch of great outdoor events. I'd really love to see everybody out at some shows. I know people have been seeing us for years, but I really believe what we're putting on right now is our best we've ever put forward. And I'd love to have everybody out there supporting us and seeing what we do. Just come out and enjoy
No
it.
two shows are alike.
And you know what's
Exactly.
funny? Connecticut is, doesn't get. And we have a good music scene here, and it doesn't get the recognition it deserves. And I like to see a Connecticut-based band actually going out like doing Colorado and doing all these tours, spreading the good word out. But really, it's important we support our local musicians here. So,
Right.
your following started here in Connecticut, and look how far it spread. I mean, I've
Yeah.
got to imagine you're getting listens and views from all over the all over the world.
It feels pretty special when you head out 25 hours away to the mountains and you see people singing your songs. It's a very special thing, and I really do love to see it happening. And I do agree, though. Like we all need support, and to support your local music scene and local cannabis scene really is important for growing it and making sure that it's proper. Like John said, no two shows are alike. We try to make sure we change up the set list for every single show, and we keep it exciting for everybody as well as ourselves. And we have a great time every time we play. But there's also a bunch of amazing bands in Connecticut. There's so many great bands, original, cover bands, tribute acts, and they all need the support. So I'd say that the biggest thing is making sure you guys go out there. Really
Oh,
struggling to find their place out there at shows and doing things. And I gotta say, I think it was last summer, maybe the summer before. I think it was last summer though, and it really hit me. And I was kind of blindsided by how much I missed the live music scene, and I didn't even realize I was missing it so much. You get caught up in your schedule and doing things and really just trying to survive in this world right now. And I think when I went out and I saw all these people, I felt the notes in the air, and my heart smiled. There's something special about being
that
out
is
there
beautiful.
and feeling the music and being with family that really can heal you like nothing else. So I say, whether it's us or any bands or anything, I really recommend everybody to go out there, touch some grass, smoke some grass, and listen to some live music,
Right. And we'll be able to do that this Saturday out in Shelton. It's supposed to be beautiful. And like you say, this Sunday up there at the farm, we'll be able to do that. The
Absolutely.
weather's supposed to be nice, so I can't wait for that. Jonathan, any last words for the people out there?
Winter is just around the corner.
No,
No! Get him off of here!
John, I really do. I really want to thank you, though, for coming on the show. You are an OG, and it's so nice to see you, someone in my generation, going out there, still performing live, still banging on those keyboards, man. And
Yeah.
when I'm at the festivals hearing you live, I just sit there. When you go into it's wonderful. And it's really nice for me to see. And your dad going out there, still making music, still with that passion for the music and going out there live. It's not easy at our age. Let's be real.
Hey, we still had John crowd surfing last weekend at the show, You guys got to come out and see it.
Oh, I can't wait for that. We got to post a video on of that. And one thing, I really appreciate you allowing us playing that rough cut today. But I do want people to go check it out. Sirens, you're going to release it on April 27th. And you will also be starting your tour on April 30th out in Colorado.
Yep.
So, and a lot of good things I know are happening for you personally up there. You bought some property. You got a lot of great things going on. You recently got married. So congratulations to you and all your family and all the band. And Jonathan, again, thank you so much for joining us today.
Sure, Joe, and it's worth pointing out there is a vast amount of our material, studio albums, live material on Spotify and the various streaming apps near you.
That's right. I just pulled up your Spotify page. You've got all your albums up there, some live performances. It's really great. Check them out on Spotify.com/Creamery Station. Very good to follow them. All right, guys, thank you so much. I'm ready to go. That is Creamery Station follow them on Instagram, Facebook, listen to their music on Spotify, and check them out on their live tour. And again, if you want to see Dylan and Dylan Cater Band, just come hang out with him. Some great acoustic jams. Come on down to the festivals this weekend. All right, everybody. Harry, I'm ready to roll. Hit that music.
Thank you so much, guys. Have a good one.
Uncle Lou.
Guys.
Hey, much love, y'all.
All right, like, share, subscribe at Joe Sweet Guy. And at Green Haven Media, at Cannabis Corner Radio. We love you all. Thank you, Dylan. Thank you, Creamery Station, for coming on. We will see you all at the festivals this weekend and again next week for the big 420 smokeout on air. Jonathan, you're invited too. We love you all. Peace.